The first thing with traditional approaches is that they rely on recall, and that's much less accurate than if you're getting real-time feedback from people texting in whenever they actually see, hear or experience anything. So it does mean that you don't just pick up TV and underrepresent some of the other channels like online or conversation that you just really wouldn't pick up normally. But then I think the other thing is that you do get an accurate read on exactly how people feel at that moment in time. So we know the first time they see a poster how they feel versus the third time they see a poster and how they feel, which again is very, very difficult to get through any traditional methodology.
Stories. We all spend our lives telling them about this, about that, about people. But some stories are so good, we wish they'd never end. They're so gripping that we'll go without sleep just to see a little bit more. Some stories bring us laughter, and sometimes they bring us tears. But isn't that what a great story does? Makes you feel. Stories that are so powerful, they really are with us forever.
Sky Atlantic HD, the home of HBO, a brand new channel. Sky, believe in better.
Well, we were given the challenge by Sky to try and deliver something very, very fast within 10 days and also have a benchmark within 3 days as to whether or not there was any major issue so that we could have a no-go-go decision. So the first thing we did was we recruited a lot of people the day of the launch of the Dustin Hoffman advertising, so that by day 3 we could see against the benchmarks that we'd set in terms of how engaging and persuasive the experiences were, whether they were in the right ballpark. So were the TV experiences very positive? Was there anybody saying that the posters were very negative, for example? So we could immediately see by day 3 there wasn't a problem, we were getting good levels of engagement and persuasiveness.
Well, we've always, with our previous tracking, we've been able to get a very top-line read about 2 weeks in, but we've never had such granular detail and such ability to make such strategic recommendations to the business before we had the mesh approach.
So when you say granular, examples?
Examples, one of the findings which was touched on in the presentation was the effectiveness of using the online approach, because it was helping to showcase the content effectively and generating buzz. So that was certainly a learning that we took into future content campaigns. And also, from a more tactical level, deploying things like QR codes, which is the barcode that sits on quite a lot of our press advertising now, how well that was working. I don't quite know if we'd ever found that out if it hadn't been for the mesh approach, because it actually asked directly what people were interacting with and what they liked about it. And it's purely the ability to scan with a smartphone a barcode and you see and you get a trailer. Which was particularly engaging because it's using a static media to bring obviously a visual medium to life. Well, I think as I alluded to in the presentation, what the consumers were telling us they wanted through the mesh approach was more information about the content, which is actually what had been planned for phase 3. So we actually just rolled phase 3 out as we would have done anyway. I mean, it was reassurance that the campaign was working, which was really valuable, really valuable. As I said, it was our first channel launch, major channel launch for 20 years. So it was good to know that we were actually getting the message out there. Talked about the ability to measure many campaigns, and I think you've certainly found that the amount of messages we have in market can be sometimes quite overwhelming, just from a purely reporting perspective.
I think it's more, some of the things that we've looked at are how we can maybe deliver together to the people that need the information. So, for example, the agencies now, whether it's a media agency or an ad agency or your internal agency, were interested in the QR codes and was that the right response route. So we've been looking at the kind of processes we can put in place in order to make sure that the best of this insight can get delivered through to the right people. So there have been changes there, and there still will be, I think.